Hello and welcome to Stephen K. De Silva Ministries Facebook Live, and I'm here in my new studio, and I'm really excited because I get a chance today to go live and test out all of my new equipment. So I think it's working. I'll find out later. If not, I'm not able to watch the feed like I used to. I'm still working out some bugs. So I'm just going to let a few moments go by and let people join. Whoever wants to, we'll let people get on our Facebook Live today, because today we finish a little series on the 4 rules of success. And we are on the last one today, which I'll give you in a moment. Now, because as we wait, I'll just explain this. Because we have a new studio, the little cards will be going away unless I have technology problems. But what we will now do is look at this. Oh my gosh. We can now do 2 cameras at one time, and my famous artwork gets to show up live. I get to actually manage this, manipulate this live as we do the session. So this is what we're doing today. We're going to talk about the 4 rules of success. And you'll remember, just by way of kind of refresher, we talked about number 1, if you can't dream it, you can't have it. That has to do with the idea that if you can't ask or imagine from God, if you have a capacity problem where you are so tired and burned out, frustrated or unhappy that you can't dream, that's evidence of the enemy working in your life with the subject of toil. Now, we talked about that in our last video. I won't go any further. Just I want you to be aware that it is not normal for a follower of Jesus to be depressed and unhappy or empty inside. It's not normal, but it is common. So if you have some situations with that, go back and check out last week's Facebook Live, or check out my Foundations Manual, which is Prosperous Soul Foundations, and it's I think I talk about it on page 133, and it looks like this. This is my small group curriculum kit, and you can find that on my website. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about number 1, if you can't dream it, you can't have it. Number 2, the long arm of reality. That is the part of us that reaches out into that big idea that we're dreaming about and pulls it into today. The long arm of reality. Credit given to Bob Perry, who is a board member and of Bethel Church back in the day, and Bob told me about the first 2 rules of success. And I was so intrigued in those days that I wrote them down. If you can dream it, if you can't dream it, you can't have it, and the long arm of reality. Well, I've modified these rules a little bit, and I've tinkered with them. That's why rule number 1 is set in the negative, as I have described earlier. Number 2, the long arm of reality. Number 3, timing. And number 3 is what God is responsible for. You see, we covered this already. The long arm of reality reaches out and pulls those things into today, and we work on them. Those are our tasks and goals. But then rule 3 is when God brings opportunity in front of us. And because we've done our part, rules 1 and 2, then God can do his part, and we are able to carry it. We are able to receive it. Rules 1, 2, 3. Now, are you ready? Rule number 4 is the word ensue. I'm going to write it right here on my fancy pad and see how this works. Ensue. Now that's a different kind of word, probably one you're not familiar with. It actually comes from a quote, and this I added later when I started working through a book that I particularly appreciate and I would recommend to anyone. The author's name is Viktor Frankl, Viktor Frankl, Frankl. He wrote many books, but this one is Man's Search for Meaning. It's a thin little book, and Victor was a victim of the Holocaust and the Nazi war camps. And he wrote this quote, and I'm quoting out of his book, but I'm referring into where I quoted him in my Foundations manual. He says, "Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you are going to miss it." Now the quote goes on, but let me just stop for a moment and explain what's happening. Viktor Frankl is thinking up these ideas in the context of a Nazi war camp. He's a victim. He's lost his wife and children to the Holocaust, and consequently, he has come up with these ideas on how people think and what it means to succeed and be happy. Isn't that amazing that this man, who was a Jew but was also a believer in God, was in those conditions thinking about success and happiness? Now let's read this quote again, and I'll continue. "Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make success a target, the more you are going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as the byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Happiness must happen. And the same holds for success. You have to let it happen by not caring about it." You see, what's interesting that Viktor Frankl articulated so well is this idea. The idea of ensue in the context of success illustrates a thing called authenticity, or being genuine. You see, being authentic and genuine in our identity in Christ is a very rare element today. It's a thing about being really who you are, even when no one is watching. Even when you're by yourself or with people that you can just totally relax with, you are still always the same on the inside and the outside. There isn't a personal, public persona and then a private, secret persona. When we're authentic, we're the same thing all the time, behind closed doors, even where no one is looking. This is a unique advantage to followers of Christ, because God is uniquely interested in all the religions. Our God, the God of Christianity, is uniquely interested in being known and knowing you and I. And because of that relationship, we actually become known, and our identity can ensue. You see, success is an inside job, and it has to come from the inside, and success happens because we are actually living out who we authentically are. Now, this is rare in a world of fake news, of faux identities and responsibilities, in a place of fiat money, in an environment where everything is cosmetic and disposable, and in a time when authenticity is actually being challenged. You see, authentic and genuine identity is the foundation, or the fourth rule of success. We can aim at success all we want. We can think about it like a list. We can understand that if we can't dream it, we can't have it. We can understand these things. We can use the long arm of reality and the timing that God would add, that He would understand, that we would do our part. Let me just correct a mistake. This is the long arm. Oh, technical difficulties, folks. Look at that. The long arm of reality. Check it out. I'm going back to my foolproof system. You can't dream it, you can't have it. The long arm of reality can reach into the future and pull back into today the details we needed to reach that dream. The timing of God, when He shows up and achieves whatever it is that He wants to achieve. But number 4, ensue. It has to be an inside job to actually qualify as success. And we do that by being authentic and genuine in who we are. Okay, I think I've talked up my time. I'm going to let it go and sign out as usual. But this time, I will log in a moment and just see comments that people have left. I've got to, I want to connect with you folks, but my technology isn't quite there. I'm still learning. So if you want to just chat to me, hang on and I'll be right into the group. Otherwise, God bless you guys and God bless your prosperous soul. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Stephen K. De Silva, and you're probably wondering, why have I never heard this information before? Well, now you can by going up into this corner and subscribing to this channel. Or you can go to this corner and watch the next video. There is tons of information I'm giving you. Go check it out and go deeper. Or better yet, go to the link below and go check out my website. I've got some free stuff on there. Go get that and go see lots of resources so you can finally master your money. Hey, I gotta go record another video. I'll see you soon. Bye.